Yeah. Human body is very rare. We all know, we have studied in scripture. After having human body, if people just spend their life like animals, their life is wasted. So it's a great opportunity for us to give or share this Krishna consciousness, connect people with Krishna. Otherwise, these visitors may never again visit a festival or may never have the opportunity to connect with Krishna. So in one way we can say it is our core responsibility, right? We already know who we are, why we are in this world, why we are suffering. Uh, we already have a purposeful life, right? At least whether we realize and completely uh, realize that or not, at least we know through scriptures and through Guru, we know um, our situation at least. So if people do not get the opportunity having human body, it's a great loss. So it's our ardent desire to at least inform them. Whether we're no way trying to push anybody. We are no way, force anybody. We are just introducing. That is our consciousness. We're only introducing Krishna to them, and it's up to them to do whatever they want, right? But at least as as people who understand some principles of Gita, we want to at least give this opportunity to others so that they uh, at least can decide for themselves, right? So that is our mode. We want to at least share a little bit so that from there onwards it's up to their interest and their own pursuit. Because if anybody and everybody, nobody likes to be forced. Everyone want to discover themselves, and we need to just provide right opportunity to them so that they can discover themselves. Yeah. So that is the real purpose of celebrating festivals. And in this festival, if you see, there are like dozens of booths. There is Rangoli booth, there is goodness cookies, uh, you know, there is a roti making, like you name it. There are like gum, there is some gum structures. So many things are there, all to just bring people to the festival, because everybody has different interests. You never know which will connect them. That is all to bring people. But actually, the real purpose is what? You know, sometimes doctors or say mother gives, various chocolates, but ultimately she want to, you know, administer some medicine through all of that. So we have so many other booths, but our real goal is to somehow give some little Krishna consciousness to them, connect in some way to connect each of these people who are visitors to Krishna, right? So, in a way, if you look at all the booths, it is our booth that actually serves the core purpose, right? Every other booth is meant to be a means. The goal is actually to, you know, give Krishna to people, and that is a direct purpose for our booth. So our booth is a very, very, critical. It has to, function very well so that it really fulfills the purpose of the festival, right? So we should all understand very clearly uh, that our booth is a very, we are actually representing Krishna directly more than any other booth, because other booths are bringing
Representing our culture, right? They are
culture.
representing our culture and trying to connect people to the culture, but we are trying to connect people to Krishna.
Krishna, yeah, they bring people to the culture. We, bring them to Krishna, right? So understand the difference and the role, and the key role that the booth is playing. Yeah? And who are we? We should understand. We should have a consciousness of who we are. We are all, we are all actually acting on behalf of Krishna, right? And all these guests, whoever are coming, we should treat them as personal guests of Lord Krishna. All the visitors, they are just, right? There is a verse that says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. Means the jivas are roaming around everywhere trying to pursue happiness in this existence. That is the whole purpose of any life. Anything that has life is only pursuing happiness in this world, right? So in that pursuit, they're going through so many miseries and going through repeated births again and again, not knowing what really fulfills their real or uh, uh, gives real meaning to their life, right? Everybody is trying so many things, especially human beings, being at the top of the consciousness chain. It is so we treat everybody who visits as a guest of Krishna, and we convey a little bit about our educational activities so that they can really connect with Krishna, right? So we should know who we are. We are all representing Krishna, and we see. And how do we see them? We see each one who visits us as a guest of Krishna, right? And it is our hope and opportunity to actually to connect each of them to Krishna. Yeah, so that is who we are. And what is our role? We already discussed. Be an instrument in connecting the visitor with Krishna. Yeah. So any questions so far on at least setting the mood, who we are, who are the guests? So that's all clear. And what is the role of our, both? That is all clear, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And then, so now people visit. Once you stand there, people keep visiting, and visitors of various varieties, right? Some are not at all interested. Some
Yeah.
are atheistic. Some are interested in only culture, not spiritual aspect. Some are interested in their own children, right? So they want to see what they can give to their children as part of this whole, program. So everybody comes with their specific needs, and so when they come to us, we have various opportunities as part of our temple, right? We have children classes, right? A lot of children. We have farm. We have many services in temple. Some people could be interested in that. So we first try to understand their needs instead of telling what we have or what we should not be agenda driven. We
Okay.
should be telling them, asking them, first of all, who they are, and if it is their first visit to the festival, and have they tried various things, and then slowly, understand their needs. Hey, do you have children? And we can tell about, if you have children, yeah, we have these classes. Do you like farming? Yeah, we have the farm, right? So, and have you ever inquired into purpose of life? Or do you have an opinion of who is God? So we can strike conversations like that, right? It should always be opening their interest instead of trying to giving information, right? If we have very short time, we can give information, but more or less we are trying to strike some conversation with people, trying to understand who they are, understand their needs, and understand their aspirations, and connecting to the specific opportunity we have, right? We have so many things in our temple. We celebrate festivals, we have cultural activities, we have farm, we have cows, we have children classes, and we have a lot of festivals where they can volunteer. A lot of people like to volunteer. That is also good. So we have a farm, guest farm, where we can take their information, and they can take their interests, and accordingly we'll follow.
Okay.
And more than everything else, we tell about the, this temple is not just like another ritualistic temple. Most temples, any other temple you go, you will just go there, you just pray for what you want, and Pujari does some, ritual, and then you come back. You eat some prasad and come back. That's the experience of people. But this temple, we tell how it is different. This is like an education center. Okay, so when we introduce about our temple, right? So now you inquired, you first give some time to them. Don't just inform them what we have. Inquire, if they have children, if they have, if they have any specific interests that we can connect to, and then slowly tell about, hey, we have this Vedic culture center in Samamish, in Seattle area, and this temple is not like any other temple, because they always, temple means they compare with their own understanding of temple. So we tell this temple is an education center. Here, the education we get is about life. The reason is we discuss about, the essential wisdom to lead a purposeful and meaningful life, right? So you might have heard about Bhagavad Gita. Most of them are Indian. So, but have you studied any principles of Gita? Mostly they say no. Yeah. So then if they are interested, we can go into conversation about the Bhagavad Gita informs that we are not this physical body, we are a spirit soul, and the principle of and what is a soul, right? So soul's nature is to be always blissful, eternal, right, and full of knowledge. But our experience of life is not like that, right? How we can elevate from physical gross body platform to spiritual soul platform, that is what that's what is going to give real happiness to us, and that is what is being taught here. So that is what is discussed in Bhagavad Gita. So we have free courses, free classes. We don't need to go too deep. We just tell about soul's nature, body's nature. If you want to live at the level of soul, you have to study Gita and also apply in your life through simple principles, right? So, and that is what is going to be taught, and all the courses are free, and you can sign up. We'll take your registration, and we'll follow up when the courses are going to begin, and then you can just take the form to them and just fill their name and DYS Bhagavad Gita online, whatever, which you can just register them. So this is the whole conversation with people will have, right? Any questions on what we discussed so far? This is only with people who are inquisitive. A lot of people, if you feel that they're atheistic, no need to talk to them too much. We don't have so much time to spend on them, right? So many visitors come. We will see if they're, if they're interested in. So we'll keep some books where we, right? So generally, naturally, people come and see the books. So say Hare Krishna, and then slowly strike conversation. What is your name? And then you can talk about what we discussed so far, right? So what is your name, and where do you come? What are your interests? We have this temple in Samamish. We have several activities. It's a very active temple. It's not like a regular temple. It's an educational institute. I focused on children education as well as adult education, spiritual education. And then you can tell about, this Bhagavad Gita is like a manual for life. It teaches who we are, what the purpose of life is, and soul's nature, etc. All those things we can discuss slowly. Yeah, so this is the general. You don't need to talk all these things, but a few things that you think you can, based on how the other person is interacting with us, we can, we can share more and more. Or if they're not interested, we don't need to spend too much time. Just say Hare Krishna, give something, and then move on, right?
Probably like we will have the various kind of books there, right? Spiritual books,
Yeah.
cooking books, maybe Rangoli books. Based upon interest, then we can just offer them some books so that we can talk about that to create interest in that.
Exactly. Yeah, we can do that. So generally they come and see the book, and we open, a page and then show, yeah, this is Bhagavatam tales. This is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a Amal Puran, Mahapuran, and this is the last book written by Vyasadeva, and it has the highest knowledge. And if children learn about these Bhagavatam tales at a very young age, you can be rest assured they will be, they'll have a lot of good values in their very early age, right? So we try to talk about children first, because a lot of parents are very much interested in their children welfare, right? Everybody is interested in their children, and they want, you can see the needs of the people, right? So the needs of the people are that people want their children still to oblige them, obedient to them, and be situated in the Indian cultural values, right? So those are the needs of the parents. So when you tell the parents, Hare Krishna, we have these children classes. These children classes, if your child is 5 to 8 years, they say, "No, this is the best age." You should tell them, if this is the best age, because they are still very young minds. If they absorb the values from our Indian Vedic scriptures at this age, rest assured you will not have to worry about their value system for their entire life. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Sneha Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This
Yeah.
is Aman.
Yes,
So, Prabhu, I had a question. How much, like, do we get a list of the kinds of classes, if they inquire what kind of
yeah.
classes they have at the temple,
Mm.
some information on that so that we can, talk about it. And with regards to books, I was curious, like, how much do we have to know about the books that are on display so that if they're interested, how much do we need to know to talk about it?
Sure, yeah. We don't need to know a lot. First, let me answer the first question, right? So regarding the classes that we have, because these are all guests and most likely they don't know much, we only talk about two things. Okay. We talk about discover yourself. Okay. Second thing we talk about is Bhagavad Gita classes, right? These are the two things. And about discover yourself, what we will tell them is, so we have this discover yourself, a very short course on entire summary of Gita. That's the first thing we say. This is a course that summarizes entire Gita, taking all the important principles, and this course is prepared by an IITian, okay? And it is taught as like a course in most of the IITs in India now, and also in a lot of universities in the West. Okay, you can tell that. Third thing is, what does it cover? Right. First is about advertisement about the course itself. Who taught it? Who prepared it? And what it covers. Right. First, tell that Bhagavad Gita is like a life manual. Right. I always tell this. When you tell them it's a life manual, they should be able to understand. Like they know, if you have a television, you get a manual, and the manual, you know how to best use the television. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is like a life manual. It teaches the principles by which, if we adhere to those principles, our life will be very meaningful and purposeful. So you can lead a very happy life in this world, right?
Yeah.
The principles of happiness is there in this scripture. So that's what you tell about Bhagavad Gita introduction, right?
Yeah.
And then this discover yourself will answer all your questions. This is another important point to mention. It
Yeah.
will answer all your questions that you ever had about, anything about life, right? Who am I? Does God really exist?
Mhm.
Why is there suffering in this world? Hmm? Why sometimes bad things happen to good people?
Mhm.
These are some of the topics and contents that will be covered. What is the real purpose of life? How to lead a meaningful and purposeful life, right? So five,
Right.
6 things you can mention, right? So what is the content you mentioned? And the good thing is this is all presented in just 6 weeks, and it's all PowerPoint based. So you can ask a lot of, and it's a very interactive course. It's not like a
Mhm.
sermon. You can ask questions and clarify. By the end of the course, you will be very well equipped with all the fundamental concepts of Gita. That's what we
Mm.
tell, right?
Yeah.
So everybody need not, don't try to remember everything. Just what comes in the flow. You already know all these things. Just mention some of those things, and that should be good enough, right?
So
Sure.
Prabhuji, I had a question regarding like for the kids.
Hmm.
So I know my kid has been going to Vedic school since the age of 3. So is it a good thing to give that example, or we shouldn't give examples of our own
No,
kid?
no, we should give, because
Okay.
so why we are now telling is because our own personal experience has been good, right?
Yeah.
Children has grown up learning these slokas or stories at a very young age, and they have certain value system already built, right?
Yeah.
How do you, so you can ask, how do you, how do you teach your children values, right? Most of them may not have a good coherent story, right? Because they don't have any, clear path for it. Hey, we have, these classes, and it, it's taught by very, teachers who are practicing Gita for their, for many years, and they learn all the, life stories of great devotees,
Yeah.
and the slokas of Gita, and they learn their meaning, and their perspective will be completely changed about life, and they will have very strongly built value system, right? So you don't need to worry about their, value system for your life, because this is the right age. If they learn at this age, they'll be set for life, right? So that is how we speak about children classes. And so this form, I'll show you this form. It has all the things we want, right? So this is the form. I'll share this link. So vedicculturecenter.org/guest, right? Uh, anyway, I'll give you the link, and we'll also have, what do you call, scan, where
The
to
printouts.
yeah, print out with,
Okay.
the QR code where they can scan and directly log in here. They can give their name, email, phone number, city, and then these things, right? They can volunteer for festivals, they can join their kids in the school, they can join in the Hindi classes for kids, discover yourself. This is our core thing, Bhagavad Gita, volunteer opportunities. Some people like to, these are the various volunteer opportunities, and then yoga classes, right? And also communication group, right? So WhatsApp group, they can be added to WhatsApp group. So these are the various things. They can, when they see also, you need to tell them, because they don't know what is discover yourself group, right? So you should, if they are quickly interested, suppose you have only 1 minute with a person, right? Because he's in a hurry, just tell them, hey, I think, if you like this festival and you want to be in touch with us, please register here. We don't have time to talk about Bhagavad Gita. We don't have time to talk about children classes, festivals, volunteer opportunities. Just tell them, hey, if you would like to be in touch with us, just, please enroll here, right? So that way we directly get their interest at least noted, and then we'll, communicate with them afterwards. Yeah. Kaustubh Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just one thought into my mind, Prabhuji. So sometimes, like, people are in rush, hurry, and then sometimes they can I just see it somewhere, like, read it somewhere on website. So can we just have printout with a QR code? and there could be a link to YouTube showcasing about ISKCON, maybe giving some like an overview, or maybe Gaur Gopal Das like nice lecture where people get very much influence, so they can go and just watch it later as well.
Yeah, there is a video actually about Discover Yourself, the Bhagavad Gita introduction course. I think that is the best one because they can at least relate to it. So we can share that, and QR code for this link will be printed. Yeah, that is the plan. So they can directly connect to it immediately, right? If they're in hurry, they can just quickly scan and go.
Right. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So yeah, so that is all planned. So I think we all have information. So Bhagavad Gita, right? Regarding Bhagavad Gita, what we talk about is few things, right? When you show Bhagavad Gita, you tell them this is Bhagavad Gita is a life manual. Very clear, right? Life manual. Just like you buy a television, you get a manual. You know how to best use the device. So similarly, to utilize the human life in the best way, Bhagavad Gita is the manual for it, right? It has all the principles that can help us lead a purposeful and happy life in this world. Yeah. So that is Bhagavad Gita. And then show some concepts. What are those concepts like? Then you show the picture of body and soul, right? That soul transmigration picture you can show. Tell them, see, we are not physical body. Actually, we are spirit soul as per Bhagavad Gita. We all think that we are this body, and we get overwhelmed about these bodily needs. But actually, we are spirit soul on a human journey, on a human body journey right now. In the past, we had other bodies, but now we have a human body. But this is the best body to learn about the purpose of life, right? So then take the conversation, right? So the nature of the soul is Satchidananda, right? Eternally happy, and eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. But are we in that state right now? No. So our body doesn't experience that currently we don't experience that consciousness. So through the process of yoga, we can take our consciousness from bodily platform to the spiritual platform, right? So that is the goal of the wisdom of Gita, the purpose of yoga, right? So ultimately, what are we trying to do? By practicing Gita, we want to elevate our consciousness to the soul level, right? We want to stay in that high consciousness, right? So if you tell like that, then people, oh, there is something higher than just bodily experiences. Then they can relate to spirit better, right? So that is about soul. We told about manual for life, told about soul. Any other thing we can show is in the Bhagavad Gita there is a picture of 5 senses dragging the the chariot in which the soul is sitting, right? So the 5 horses represent 5 senses. You can show that picture. Tell them that, see, if you do not have clear purpose in life, our senses will drag us in all directions. The tongue want to taste nice things. Eyes want to see all the movies or all the stuff in this world. In this way, every sense is very busy in various pursuits. So, but for the guest in the chariot, for him to reach the destination, the senses have to be in control, right? To achieve anything in life, you need to have senses which are in control, right? So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to keep your senses in control. That's how you relate how they can benefit from the wisdom of Gita, right? So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to put all the senses in control so that either material purpose or spiritual purpose you can achieve in a very systematic way. So those 3 things you can speak, that is enough. And then there is karma theory also. What shall you sow, so shall you reap. You can tell that also. Show the picture of animal killing. Some people like, some people don't like, so we don't show that every time. But yeah, manual, soul, and what is the third thing?
Senses, Prabhuji.
5 senses.
No, 5 senses. Yeah, 5 senses. These 3 things, anybody. So this is how we, tell them in short about Gita, right? And then they will, they will make up their mind whether they should go for it or not. If they're not interested, we have no, we don't want to. If they want to volunteer, yeah, we can sign them up for volunteer. Whatever they're interested, right? So we'll only register, or we'll only tell them to check box only if they're interested. We're not in the business of forcing or anything like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I had a question. So at any point, is it okay to talk about Krishna, or do we just talk about the soul? Or does it just depend on how interested the person is, and then we
Sure,
gauge
Yeah,
if we want to take it further to maybe introduce them to Krishna? I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah. We can introduce based on the interest. See, if people have interest, it is no problem. We can introduce Krishna. But again, some people have their own understanding of Krishna. They start speaking about their own understanding. So it goes into, different directions sometimes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fundamental concepts are always safe because it's very scientific, and they cannot, there is not much argument about those topics.
Yeah, that's true, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. So we discussed.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji, I joined late. I had service. I got late in the service.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but my strategy is also the same, Prabhuji. I always look for families with kids. I talk about the kids classes to begin with, and then after that I usually talk to Matajis to see if they have interest in any of the adult classes. So once they are interested, the kids are interested, then obviously the Prabhujis have to align, right? We are all married Prabhujis, we all know that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is the sequence that works. Generally, Matajis are, very receptive, open-minded.
Correct.
They value their children education a lot, and they want to learn also because they're, already they are, very much inclined. Prabhujis have a lot of ego, and it takes a little while for them to accept. But yeah,
Yes.
Matajis are natural devotees, right? So yeah, so that is the right sequence, I would say.
Yep. And Prabhuji, last time when I've done this right along with you, we both did once in Janmashtami the same thing. So at that time we had some kind of like flashcards that I gave out to all the devotees that had some class information, like some small brochures. Do you have anything like that this time too, or is it just us showing them? And then I used to give them that flashcard, and then on top of it I used to sign them up on my phone, opening up that browser that you showed.
Correct, yeah. We didn't make one. I can ask about that. We can see if, we can make, maybe for Vedic University, we'll make one. Huh?
Okay.
We'll make one for Vedic University and print them.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, yeah. So we'll only talk to inquisitive people. We're not talking to, atheistic, Abrahamic, casual people also we can talk. So we need to identify person before we give more time to them, because so many people, we don't have so much time to spend with everyone. Give them time initially if they are interested. Talk about their children, right? They could be spiritually inquisitive, then talk about soul, talk about senses, talk about Bhagavad Gita, right? Sometimes they're culturally inquisitive, then talk about the programs at temple, the festivals where they can participate, and volunteer opportunities. Some like service. Tell them that they have so many volunteer opportunities in temple, so they can sign up there, right? So these are the only categories we give a lot of time, right? Some people are casual, of course they will themselves leave. We don't need to push them. with people who are atheistic, right? They get triggered fast. Each of you will face, one or two people like that for sure during this, 2 days. Don't worry. We just, main thing is to not argue with them, right? This is a no arguments, right? So we don't argue, we don't, push our point. They may say something against Krishna, they may say something against Hinduism in general. You can say Hare Krishna, you can try different, booths. You can tell them, there is nice prasadam, send them somewhere. We don't have time to argue with them. Yeah. And we should not eat at the table, right? So these are some of the don'ts. We can eat outside and come there, right? Don't bring plates, juices, glasses. We can finish them outside, and then, of course, water you can drink, but no eating, because that gives some negative impression to some of the visitors, right? No excessive persuasion. We don't pursue anybody too much. We just tell them these are the opportunities, right? So they should be in control always. Okay. We are the informers. They're the people who make the decision. If they have decided, if you have informed in such a way that they are happy to join, that we have won, right? At no point should they feel we are pursuing, right? Because nobody likes to be sold out, right? Nobody likes marketing. We are not in the business of marketing here. We genuinely want to serve Krishna. None of us are paid. We are just serving Lord. That is the only purpose of our life. That's what we want to do, right? We give our life for that purpose. But no, we still respect individuals' freedom and no excessive persuasion, right? They should never feel, oh, these guys, they took so much time, and they tried to sell their thing. No, we are not. None of us are interested in that, right? We explain, as they open up, as they start hearing, we'll inquire and also ask them. It should be interactive. It should not be one-way communication, right? Yeah. So people are interested in general, right? So everybody has needs and concerns, right? People are interested in their health and well-being, right? So we can tell some of the things that we have in temple, right? So some of the so in the past, Maharaj used to conduct some classes on health and well-being. So we can tell, we do often conduct some classes on health and well-being, how to stay mentally and physically healthy. And the other physical need, this is all physical needs, right? Safety and security. People like to be with, like to have good friends, who they can trust. And they're concerned about crime, right? Such things. So we provide a very safe and secure atmosphere in the temple, right? So they come here, they participate in temple services, activities, where they feel, a sense of friendship and a sense of security and belongingness. So we provide this atmosphere. And also the temple provides very good relationships, right? We all have very close, good friends, which we didn't have before coming to Krishna. We had friends, but this is a different level, right? So, and also ultimately, what temple gives is knowledge and practices like chanting that actually do, give personal fulfillment and purpose to our life, right? So every human being has this need, right? If you are a human being, you want to seek, we want to live with a sense of purpose. Otherwise, whatever you have, you will never be happy. So, so all the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs get fulfilled in a very good, community, and that community exists in Samamish, right? So this is another way to speak. I don't expect us to speak at this level, but yeah, if people are ready to listen, we can speak in those terms as well, right? Yeah. So I think I covered what I want to cover. So now, any questions? Any other questions? So my action item is to see if we can make some post on what do you call it, the cards, right? I'll check on this.
Prabhuji, any recommendation on the attire?
What is it, Prabhu?
Any like on the what we should be, any dress code or anything we should be wearing in particular?
Yeah. At least dhoti. Sorry, kurta. If you can get dhoti is also fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a casual wear actually. We don't but in Vedic University, I would recommend at least to have kurta for Prabhus.
Okay.
Traditional Indian wear for Matasis.
Okay.
Sari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do a role play. Chandu Prabhu, do you want to role play with me? You are the guest. Or
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's do a role play then. Why don't you come on the video and you are a visitor. Okay, let's strike a conversation and see. Yeah, so you're visiting, and so I'll say, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Anandi Mela. How are you
Thank
doing?
you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I like this event. This is the first time I'm coming here. I see a lot of things here going on, a lot of activities for the kids, there are a lot of food booths, other activities to engage people. I'm liking it.
Wonderful. Hope your family is having a great blast today.
Yes, they do.
We are very happy that you are, visiting our booth. This booth is Vedic University booth. This is associated with Vedic culture. I see that you have a, daughter. How old is she?
Oh, she's almost 5 now. I have 2 kids. One is 15, another is 5. Both are very active kids. But that one is going to school and another is already in high school.
Nice. So your children are at the right age to learn values. We all come from India. We know the Indian value system, but unfortunately there is no education available about those values officially. So Vedic Culture Center at Samamish, we provide courses to basically help children to imbibe this value system. Would you be interested?
Good. For my kid, yes. My 5-year-old kid, yes. I don't know if my 15-year-old will be too receptive as teenagers, but I'm not sure. But for my 5-year-old, yes, if there is something that exists for that age group.
Actually, 5 years is the right age. In fact, Prahlad Maharaj is 5 years when he mentioned in one of the verse, Kaumaram Acharit Prajna, means the right age to learn the spiritual wisdom is Kaumara, which is, the age from 5 to 8. So
Wow.
definitely that's the right age. And if your child, imbibes these values at this age, you will never have to worry about your child for your life. You'll never have to worry. So in class, your children will learn the stories from our great Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita slokas they will learn. So you
Good.
will surprise the values they learn, over a period of next few years. And these are taught by teachers who are very, very well versed in the subject.
Okay. And do you charge anything for this, or is it free? Is it organized by temple? Where do you conduct these classes?
Classes are
And
absolutely free, and we have both in person as well as online classes. I think right now it's in person, right? No, no, still online, I think.
Yeah, Prabhuji, still online, and they do charge a minimal fee. Like now it's like $100 for 1 year.
Okay. So then we'll
So
say
yeah.
is there is some minimal charge to maintain, the basic things from the temple side. So they charge minimal, and you can be in touch, and they'll let you know about the.
and who are these tutors who will teach the kids? Or is that something they do for as a profession, or they're like part-time teachers, and what is their background?
No, so all these teachers, their main qualification is they already studied Bhagavad Gita and
Okay, good.
in their life. But outside of that, if just because they're studying Bhagavad Gita doesn't mean they don't do anything else. They're like any other professionals outside. They work in software companies. They are some of them are teachers. So they're all in regular people, but they also value or Vedic culture, and they studied Gita already. So they're all very
Okay.
focused, and they're practicing what they're teaching, right?
Okay, that's
So
good.
besides these classes, we also have classes for adults. Will you be interested?
And what kind of classes are these?
Yeah, these classes, first of all, I want to tell you, Vedic Culture Center is a temple, but it's not like a regular ritualistic temple. It's a
Mhm.
temple where value education is given, and values based on spiritual values especially. And we have free courses given by volunteers, and these courses mainly, there are two courses. One is an introductory course to Bhagavad Gita called Discover Yourself. Second is the entire study of Bhagavad Gita itself. So in the introductory course, the Discover Yourself course, it's a summary study of entire Gita. It answers all the questions that you ever had in life. For example, who am I? Why is there suffering in this world?
Mhm.
Does God really exist? And if he exists, who is he? Why do bad things happen to good people? And
Okay.
how to lead a meaningful and purposeful life while living in city like Seattle, right? How to lead a spiritual life even though you are living in a city like Seattle. So these are some of the teachings, and whoever attended, they felt this is a transformational class for them, and it comes with free cost, and you can attend online also. It's both presented in person as well as online, right? So
Okay.
yeah, that's all we say, right?
And if I attend this class, then will I be asked to attend some other classes or events? Is there any such obligation?
No, it is a choice. And most of the people who learn device out of their own interest and curiosity, they want to learn more. And if they're interested, we have more opportunities to learn, like Bhagavad Gita itself.
Okay. And do I have to pay anything for this? And at what time do we usually have these classes?
These classes are free of charge. We don't charge anything. And the main reason why these volunteers are teaching is because they have been given time by some other volunteers. It's a sharing of love, right? The volunteers themselves were students in the past. They learned, they found value for their life, and they're now sharing with others. So it's all free of cost, run by volunteers. And what is the other question?
Will there be any other obligation to join other classes, or should attend any other events once I take these classes? Is there any such obligation?
There is no obligation, but there are opportunities. If you are interested, you can join. our interest is to share what we found helpful for ourselves. We want to share,
Okay. And I want to attend this class just to, get some background on Bhagavad Gita. So far, I have never attended any such class on Bhagavad Gita. But, I just want to get some insights into it. But, I don't expect myself, to be coming to temple regularly after this, doing all the kirtan and other thing. So I'm just trying to come to this class just to learn about Bhagavad Gita and things surrounding that. So I think I hope that's okay with you.
Yes, we don't have any expectations from you. We want you to learn, and the whole purpose of learning this is a this will open up a journey of self-discovery. Then you will decide for yourself what is the next right course of action. And there is no obligation, there is no expectation from us, there is no force. You are going to be on your own journey of life after learning this. And if you want to learn, pursue further in this direction, we have all the ample opportunities for that. And it's all driven by your own interest, self-interest after that.
Okay. And if I do join the classes, say after two classes, I drop off thinking that I'm not the right audience for this. I hope then I'm not offending anyone by doing so.
Yeah, absolutely fine with us. Yeah. We have no expectations because we are not running a business. Neither we make any money out of this. We are just volunteers sharing out of love, what we learned in the past, so that it benefits others. And whoever are interested, we are ready to share with them. We don't expect anything from them except our interest to share with them. That's all.
Okay. And is there any kind of some booklet or something that's given as part of this course, or do I have to make my own notes?
We will provide notes after every class. At the end of the class, we provide summary of the entire class.
Okay.
Besides that, we also, if you complete till the end, we also give Bhagavad Gita as a gift. And
Okay.
we'll also invite you for a certificate, and then we'll all have prasadam together in the temple.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm okay to sign up for now. Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate
you.
it.
No, thank you. Thanks for explaining. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I hope, thank you, Prabhu. I think this is good role play.
Yeah, I think I deliberately asked far too many. Again, this is based out of some of my own experiences as well. That people ask this kind of question: that why should I join? What is that expected out of me? What if I drop off? What if why should I join this? What will I get out of this? All those are the questions that I personally faced when I did this kind of work before with you, Prabhu. This kind of service. So I thought it will be helpful for others if I ask those questions to you again.
I think these are the questions we get. So what we covered now will be good enough, actually. We don't need to, mostly you get 1/4 of what Prabhu asked. This
Yep,
is
exactly.
Yeah. If they're interested in Bhagavad Gita, we talk about those 3 points. Bhagavad Gita is a life manual, talk about soul's characteristics, and then talk about the senses, right? That's all. I think we covered everything, right? So,
Yes.
by the way, we have a goal this year to sign up, overall for all the festivals, say 1,000 people. That's a big number. So not only from our booth, it's impossible to do from one booth. So all the booths will be given a, some soft goal, say 50, 50, 50 like that. We have like 40, 35, 30 booths, I think, around 30 booths. We'll see, they'll make 5 to 10 each. We should make at least 50 to 100. Yeah, so.
And Prabhuji, sorry, maybe you might have mentioned this before and I didn't join in the initial. And again, my apologies for that. If I'm asking a question that's already being answered. So do we expect to spread ourselves in the ground in the area, or are we just sitting out in a booth and people will just show up there?
We will be in the booth as people may show interest. We can move little side That's a good practical question. So we have two booths, one with displays, the soul body, that picture is there
Mhm.
going to be a display of that, right? So if somebody is talking to us, then we can move side to that booth and talk, right?
Okay.
Most of the people will be coming, and I think 3 or 4 will be there at any time from our booth. At least 2 people can go to the side and talk. One person will be in the booth, right? And then
Okay.
if somebody is interested, suppose there will be, I can be the coordinator. I will tell, Sweta Mataji, please talk to, this Prabhu or something. Please explain about this. Then you can, converse a little more on that, right? So like that we can divide and, so if you move aside, we can, have more conversations there, right?
Okay. Okay.
We can go around. If somebody is interested, we can go around and talk also. Once there is a conversation, that is strike, we can continue, for the conversation. So we'll all have this guest book link on our phone, and we can, register people there from.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
is everyone okay with what we discussed? You all think you can do it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Prabhuji, I think if you can share this meeting recording, Prabhuji, I think it will be helpful if, at least for me, I miss the first half of it. I'll go through that. And if there are any further questions, I'll just put it in the group for the benefit of everyone else.
Yeah, it's good to hear, even though it's common things only, we all know all these things. Just going through once or twice will just register these whole points in our mind.
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
once you experience this year's festival, it will be extremely clear for you all. You all know what to do next time. But the first time, no, so you just repeatedly hearing couple of times will definitely help. Keep these points in your mind. Okay, so I will share this discussion recording. Before we wind up, any other points or questions?
Prabhuji, just wanted to say this was very helpful. Thank you for sharing the information, and it gives us a very good idea.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. This preparation always, if we just go there and try to, get ready there, it will be challenging. This preparation, you will see miracles will happen now because of, this initial preparation that we did. Because each of you will be a little more clear on the conversation and communication. Right from beginning, you will be able to strike conversations with people and start registering.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hopefully, we'll execute it well, and we'll do our best not to disappoint you.
No worries. No, we try our best. Whatever comes, that is Krishna grace. 1 or 2 hours in the beginning may be slow, or may not have a lot of people. But as people, I think the most important period is the evenings. Because a lot of people hesitate to come in the sunny afternoons.
Yes, Prabhu.
Most important time is from 5 to say 8. So
Yep.
that is the time, even if you register for the other time, even if you, but that 5 to 8 is the time I would say is the most key time. Each of you talk to 5 to 10 people in an hour. In an hour, you can cover 5 to 10 people.
Yes, so mostly people usually start coming from like 3:30 onwards. I've seen that, and then slowly it will pick up. From 5 onwards, there's a gradual inflow of people.
That's true. We may feel like, a lot of people in the booth. Don't worry, a lot of visitors will be there. We can go out a little bit and talk. But this is the most important booth. So more numbers is not, not at all bad.
Yeah.
And there are always books. People will be asking, people will be buying. So we should be available. At least 2 people ready with the books. And the book booth is also on our side. And they don't have any volunteers. So we need to help a little bit there also. Once in a while. 1 hour we have to be in just in the books booth. People will come, they ask, they inquire, and they buy it. We don't need to, like talk a lot about the books.
Okay. Okay. So is there somebody in the booth, Prabhuji? So for example, somebody comes and tell, hey, you know what? I'm new to this. Give me a book just as a starter. So is somebody in the book who can guide them on that, or are we expected to also help there with those kind of questions?
You're in the books booth, you're saying?
Yeah, you said right. We'll probably have to help that side also. I'm saying, will there anyone else on that booth who
Yeah.
might? Okay.
There
Okay.
are two devotees there,
Okay.
but they don't have like us, like 5-6 devotees. So
Okay. Got it. Got it, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, earlier you mentioned there is a goal of 50 or something like that. What is that exactly? The 50 people or
yeah, 50 registrations at least. For each booth, we are recommending, please keep a soft target, because otherwise what happens now, most booths, they just color the face and they'll just let the people move on, right? So the whole purpose of festival is to bring people to bring all the people to temple, and introduce Krishna. But unfortunately, everybody is focused on their booth. They do something what the booth is supposed to, and they don't connect people to temple, right? That is what happened last year. Last year we didn't have any registrations, literally. The whole festival, 10,000 people came. We literally retained 50 or 60 registrations, entire festival.
oh, oh,
That's very bad. I mean, we haven't leveraged the opportunity we had, right?
yeah,
As a devotee, we want to serve Krishna, and by connecting people directly with Krishna consciousness and Bhagavad Gita. If we haven't done that, then the purpose is not fully served.
mm,
So we are putting a soft target for each of the booths, those 23 or 24 booths, that each of you should try to do at least 50 registrations. And
Mhm.
we will actually track which booth is actually doing, which is not doing.
Mhm.
Booth number, because there is a booth number in the form, there will be a booth number. So
Mhm.
we will track that. That way,
Mm.
there is a sense of responsibility for each booth. Right now, it's not like it's like nobody, they just do their thing and then they're done, right? So it should not be like that.
Yeah. And if somebody asks, like if people sometimes inquire, what does it mean for them to register? Because they'll be sharing their contact information. So they want to know, like, what does it mean for them?
Correct.
So what do we typically say for that?
Yeah. So this information is absolutely going to be with temple only. We are a non-profit organization. We are not in the business of selling any contacts. The only purpose is to communicate back about temple festivals, temple classes, so that you can be informed when the classes begin. There should be a way to communicate, right? Otherwise, how can we communicate? So the
Yeah,
whole purpose is to connect you with your interests.
makes sense. Yeah, makes
You
sense.
with your interests. That's what you would say. This whole purpose of filling this form is to connect you with your interests.
Yep, that's a good way to put it. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Srijana Mataji. You
Hare
have
Krishna. Sorry,
yes,
Prabhu. I see the message with so many back-to-back things. Sorry about it. We are talking about Vedic school also in this, correct?
yes. Vedic,
Uh,
one of the main instrument.
okay. I just wish Bhakti Priya Mataji was a part of this because as I do the front desk service, there are a lot of people who come and ask Prabhu. So I keep showing the what do you call the QR code and navigate them how to join, things like that. But when I spoke with Bhakti Priya Mataji, do we need to print flyers for the next September because the registration is on? Her point was, where is the place for us to teach?
Mhm.
So that is why last year she just ran with whoever registered with with that number, because earlier we used to have Keshava, Madhava, upstairs 2 classes. In library there used to be one. In the hall we used to have one other class, right? So at least 6 to 7 classes were running constantly. Now we are left with only Keshava class.
Hmm.
And my understanding, talking to Mataji, is this year she's going to run the same class with different timings.
Yeah, okay.
So
But this year they want to do in person, is it, Mataji?
some classes are going to be in person, Prabhu. Some are going to be online only.
So for online there is no limit, no?
That is, but we don't get to know, because a lot of the withdrawals happened because it went to online.
Mhm. So they join and then they will not continue after some time, is it? Because
Because
online,
yeah,
many
especially
people,
year to 6-year-old, Prabhu, it's really hard for them to sit and focus. And there is also one more point is, if they come to temple, they want to develop the habit to come to temple, and this is the mode for them, which
yeah.
is not which is a fair ask. So, but to even get there, I mean, because that would be the question for sure. People will ask, is it going to be online or in person?
Yeah.
So if we have some clarity on how we are going to present it, I think it would be more, we can attract more that, hey, maybe we are doing both online, in person, or separate, or some classes are going to be just in person, some are going to be online.
Mm.
I mean, whatever the ask is, because the Gopala class, I worked with Jayashri Mataji. Most of them preferred it to be online, which was very surprising.
Mm.
Not sure about other classes, because that is one way you can bring them to temple. See, as long as we keep it online,
Mataji, you can do like this also, right? For example, you can primary mode can be online, and they can come once a month. All the classes can come once a month, so that they will also have in person once a month. Just like right now, work from home is moved to partial work from home for most companies. So you can have a hybrid mode, so that temple is not overcrowded. At the same time, you have limited capacity in temple that can be used for this um, like people when they have their class once a month or so, right? So
no, definitely. That's a great idea, right? Look, that's why I was like, I wish Bhakti Priya
I, I,
Mataji.
will, I will talk to her. We are
Yeah.
going. We'll go together to a service today. I'll talk to her.
And if we get, if you get more clarity and we also understand the same, we are able to present better, is what I can.
Yeah. And it should never be that we don't have a place for a student. That's not going to be very encouraging to children's, right? So we should
But
that's
yeah,
we should somehow address that. We cannot say like we can't accommodate. It's
correct. No,
yeah.
I like the idea where Bhakti Priya Mataji was trying to, rotate in the rotating basis, which means some classes happen in the morning, some classes maybe, 4 to 5 or things like that.
Do that also, no? You can have on Friday evening. You get one Friday evening one class. Saturday at 5 o'clock one class. Saturday at 6 o'clock another class. Right?
True,
Yeah.
definitely. So,
And then keep it little less regular, like you can have a hybrid model, right? That way they will visit temple and they will also be online, for regular classes.
yes, Prabhu. That's why we try to make the last 2 classes with the drama in person, and then we try to, promote it with the drama, whatever we learned in that.
Activity-based classes will be in person, and theoretical classes will be, online. Can do something like that. Yeah, sure, Mataji. I'll talk to her. You also talk to her that we discuss this, right? And if there is clarity on that, we can talk about it clearly.
Definitely, Prabhu.
So I will share the recording. I think you missed the, you can hear that fully.
Sure, I will listen to it.
Okay, I hope we can end the class now. If you have any other question, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can end. Okay, no questions. Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.